Greetings, 5th grade. It's time for reading class. All right. For today, you will need your Reader-Writer Workshop book and your Turn practice workbook. Open up your Reader-Writer Workshop book to page 328. Page 328 looks like this. It's about making predictions. So go ahead, read this page on your own, or you can log into ConnectEd and listen to it. Remember, use clues to make predictions. Read to see if your predictions are accurate, and revise your predictions as you read. So keep making more predictions, or add on to your predictions, or change your predictions as you read. All right, so reading that page 328. The next page you're going to read is page 330 in your Reader-Writer Workshop book. This is our literary genre, historical fiction. Historical fiction features are events and settings typical of the time period in which the story is set. So if the story is set in the World War II era, you're going to have settings and events that are typical with that type of a setting. Historical fiction also includes characters who act like or speak the dialect of people from that particular place or time period. So they're going to use words and phrases that were popular at the time. When people write about this period in time, during the COVID-19 quarantine, people will probably mention toilet paper as gold, and nobody will understand that except the people that have lived through this until it comes up in fiction. All right, so remember, historical fiction, events and settings that are typical of a specific time period that the story takes place in, and it includes characters who act like and speak the dialect of people from that time period. An example of dialect from the story you just read yesterday is this. "It'd be swell to have our own talent show," I replied. Using the word swell is an example of dialect from this time period. It's not really a word we use a lot right now in this time period. So looking for words and phrases that the characters say shows dialect for specific historical fiction, certain time periods. All right, then your third page that you're going to read in your Reader-Writer Workshop book is page 331 about idioms. Idioms are kind of fun. Idioms are also challenging. I know, I work with exchange students from around the world, and when they come here, they are learning English. And idioms are kind of tricky because idioms cannot not be taken for their literal definitional meaning. You have to use the words and sentences around them to know what they mean. So surrounding words and sentences can help you understand an idiom. And on this page, the example is a bolt from the blue. So we have to figure out, what does a bolt from the blue mean? The thing that gets you through hard times comes like a bolt from the blue. That's what my older brother's letter was like, traveling across the country from a work camp in Wyoming. So something that comes from a bolt from the blue comes from far off down to you, kind of like a bolt of light would come from far off in the blue sky. Now down at the bottom of this page, your turn. I have a challenge for you. That's right. Some of you that really like idioms, which I know some of you might like them. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 idioms at the bottom of the page. The cat's pajamas, which was used, and it gives you the page number. Get the green light, grin and bear it, and like there is no tomorrow. Here's your challenge. Use the flip grid and see if you can be one of the first people, one per person. Pick one of these idioms from our story: the cat's pajamas, the green light, get the green light, grin and bear it, like there was no tomorrow. State the idiom. So say what it says, like the cat's pajamas, and then tell us what this idiom means. The cat's pajamas means this. Remember to use your surrounding words and sentences to help you find the definition. And if you want to double check your answer, you could also use the internet for help. So one of those per person, please. Don't one person take all 4. Give other people a chance. Make a flip grid to teach us. And if you find other idioms in the meantime that you know of, feel free to make other idiom flip grids. So 1 flip grid per idiom, please, and then we'll see how many you get. So you can do 1 from the story, and then you can do a whole bunch of other ones from your own life that you know. So have fun with idioms. So your homework is to read these 3 pages, either follow along in Connect Ed or read them on your own in your book. You're going to learn about predicting, historical fiction, and idioms. Then you do have a workbook page, your turn practice workbook page, page 213 to 217, just like we normally do. You're going to complete all of those in complete sentences where necessary, and then submit a picture of just the 3 pages that have your writing on. I don't need a picture of the 2-story pages. If you don't write your answer on it, I don't need a picture of it, but please send me 3 separate pictures of 215, 216, and 217. Then there is a Google form. So fill out the Google form, and you're going to want your workbook pages nearby you, because your Google form is asking you to type out just a couple of your answers from the workbook pages. Those are the pages that I am going to grade critically. So you want to make sure you're writing incomplete sentences. You're going to make sure that you have a capital letter and a period, and you're going to make sure that you have things spelled correctly. Remember, when you're typing, it should underline things in like a squiggly red line, and if you put your cursor over it, it'll give you some suggestions onto how to better spell that word. So use that spell check option. All right, so 3 things. 4 things. 4 things. Read the Reader Writer Workshop book. Do your turn practice workbook pages 213 to 217. Submit a picture of those 3 pages where you have written answers into the Google Classroom assignment. And then 4th thing is open up the Google form and answer the questions within there using your workbook pages. So have your workbook pages handy. All right, that's all for today. Oh, I need to get out of this before I start waving goodbye to you. Otherwise, I'm waving forever. You guys probably laugh when I do that. I would laugh at me too. All right, bye guys.